back. And this is so weird. Like, you were still in the chat room, but we weren't live. Yeah, we're back, everyone. How weird is that?
Felt that I was in this long, dark tunnel.
We were in some sort of long, dark tunnel. Don't like that camera angle.
Free society. Very good.
Yeah. He says no one is watching. That's really weird. One person.
103 now.
16. Okay. All right. Yeah, they're coming back. So, yeah. I don't really know what happened there. We had a bit of an internet outage by the looks of it. Well, yeah, that is what happened.
Al Gore.
Yeah, probably something to do with Al Gore.
He was dancing around.
So, everyone in the chat room, we are back. It says only 28 people are tuned in.
I've got 91.
That's weird. That's weird.
It says 91 on our page, man.
We're back in business. Hang tight, TC. All right, I'll just have to reboot everything because we just had to shut down my computer, which wasn't ideal. But we're now back in business. I better.
Oh, hang on, mate. There's 2 rooms.
Yeah. This is weird.
This has never happened before.
Yeah, this is proper weird. Because it says only 30 people are tuned into this one.
We've got 91.
Yeah. Everyone on the old one needs to tune into the new one. Because I'm sure they won't be seeing the same thing.
No, live chat's finished now. That one's ended now, mate.
Okay. All right, sweet. All right, let me just share the link so I can get everyone back in. Because I've got to share that to Master Lee. Bear with us a sec. Invite guests.
That's a bastard.
That's a bastard, because we were right in the flow then. It really fucked us up, Michael. Really. Damn it. But that's okay. We can get back there. We just got to invite everyone back in.
Okay, so I'll broadcast about the link in there, mate, because there's still people in there. I can't do it from my phone.
Well, everyone, you just need to tell them to go onto YouTube and click on the fresh stream.
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay, I'm gonna message Master Lee. Have a little chat to people in the comment section.
It's literally never happened before.
Yeah, we don't know what to do about that.
No. 60 people tuned in.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
We did have nearly 400.
Yeah, let's just give it a minute for everyone to come back on in, because they should hopefully just look
Mosey on
YouTube
over.
and they'll come back.
Yo, the jack of all trades is here.
Maxcom saying no, maybe it's a coincidence.
Yeah, it's probably just a coincidence.
Yo, so please come take a walk with me.
Yeah, we're back.
To the place where I really feel free. You never know what you might just see, might just be, but it ain't likely. So please.
Welcome back, Inner Guardians.
Walk with me. Welcome to the place
We're just waiting a minute to get everyone back.
Yeah, I'm just walking around the realm. I thought it might be the end of the world.
What? Because Rise Above got cut out. The end of the world is nigh.
Yeah.
Nah, I think we had an internet outage.
Coincidence.
Yeah, some sort of coincidence, I reckon.
75, yeah.
All right, yeah, we got Master Lee back. Yeah. All right. Well, let's carry on. Let's not let that get in the way. We've condensed this all onto one screen now. That's a much better use of the screen, isn't it? We've got the whole Rise Above team in one screen.
Oh, yeah, that's quality.
It's actually
Better
much
for the
better.
CPU.
Yeah. What were we talking about before we got rudely interrupted by Al Gore?
What were we talking about?
We were talking about when the footballers, it was...
Oh, right, yeah. So we were talking about footballers and coinciditis, obviously. Let's get back to there, because I did actually build quite a good 12 show. Yeah, so we got to here. Coinciditis is striking. We've got footballers speaking out, so the cat's out the bag. That's it. We were talking about the cat being out the bag, weren't we? Who knows about this story? In Germany, the head of Chemnitz Clinic, Dr. Thomas Jenges, committed suicide, saying he no longer could be a part of the Soviet Union.
Wow.
Would anyone right now? Obviously, for everyone watching, as you can imagine, this was quickly poo-pooed by the mainstream media. No, that's wrong. That's a complete fabrication of what happened. Well, funny you should say that, because I've actually got the last video that he made on Twitter. Now, have we got any German speakers? If Victor's watching and any of our Austrian viewers, Mickey, can you translate this for us?
Zu dem, was im Moment in Deutschland passiert.
Per I vaccinati è normale questo Natale e speriamo poi che la pandemia si evolva in maniera tale che il prossimo Natale sarà veramente un Natale per tutti.
Ich kann es wirklich zusammenfassen als Arzt, als
Bollocks, it's the wrong video. It's only got him in the first couple of seconds. I'll have to find the other one. But basically, the guy's saying, yeah, this is a bioweapon. It's killing people, and it's all subtitled. Oh, that's really disappointing. It downloaded the wrong video. Right, I'll find that for next week or something. But yeah, this story is getting swept right under the carpet.
Well,
He jumped off the roof.
Wow.
Like Isaac Happy.
Yeah, but apparently this guy said, like, I can't take it anymore. Like, he said he was going to kill himself, and he did.
Right.
So we don't know if he was taken out and he was suicided, or he actually genuinely committed suicide. But the fact is that he made... that's so annoying. Do you know what? I watched the video, I pressed download, and it downloaded a different video.
You do realise this is going to be the next instalment.
Oh, what? You think this will be the next pandemic of...
the realisation.
Random deaths, people committing suicide?
Well, for those who are on the wrong side of history.
Well, it's going to be the ones who are actually administering it.
Well, it's those that are on the wrong side of history when they realise what's coming down the pipeline for them.
Well, when the realisation comes of what they've been a part of, what they've actually done.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to hit hard.
Yeah, man.
I had this conversation today about certain public sector workers turning a blind eye.
Yep.
For their paycheck.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I said it last year, and some people defriended me. I said, you know, just following orders isn't an excuse. It wasn't for the 10,000 doctors and nurses that got executed after the Nuremberg trials for taking part in illegal forced medical experimentation.
No.
Yeah. So I said healthcare workers, and I was saying this last year, healthcare workers, your chances now, because I said as time goes forward, there will become a point of no return where past this point of no return, it will no longer be acceptable to come forward because it will be too late for you. So take the opportunity while you can.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, too little, too late.
But you know, there's another angle to this, to the coincidence deaths. It could actually be a way of preventing what they've done in terms of the eternal scale of their soul. So it's like an outage of the process. So those that are dropping down, they may actually be escaping the greater evil. Think about it.
Having taken the easy way out.
No, it could be some kind of biological mechanism. Because it's no coincidence, like the heart chakra and heart attacks. And the way out of this realm is actually through the heart.
Oh, wow, okay.
Remember I mentioned about the playing cards and the king and the queen?
Yeah.
Well, in a deck of cards, the queen is actually the highest, which is the emotions or the heart center. Now, ideally, you want to exit this round with the king and the queen married.
Masculine and feminine.
Yeah, in balance.
Yeah, united.
But you can't escape this realm without the heart. And I've mentioned it before about, I mean, it sounds crazy, but a heart attack is actually almost the perfect death. It's the perfect exit out of this realm. It's like it's almost a natural way out. Because think of how many ways are there to be born? There's one.
There's only one.
Yeah. How many ways are there to exit? There's many.
There's at least 6 million ways to die, apparently.
Choose one.
Yeah.
So what would actually be, if there's one natural way in, what would be the natural way out?
Well, what's the mechanism of the what's the engine of the mechanism of our life, of our respiratory system, of our breath, of our blood pumping around? It's our heart.
Yeah, and if you look at most forms of death, it ultimately comes to the point where the heart stops. It doesn't matter what it is. It has to come to that.
And that's
in
when
one way
you
or
would
another.
be kind of pronounced dead, so to speak, medically speaking.
Yeah, and remember I said that the only center that doesn't have a negative half is the heart or the emotions. There's way more to all of this than we even can begin to comprehend on a physical and metaphysical level.
Sure.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's deep.
Next slide. So, unvaccinated sperm commands 400% price premium at sperm banks. I don't know if
It's the
this
new
is
Bitcoin.
Is this true? Has this been photoshopped? I don't know if this is true, but it's funny. It's not all new. It's not all bad news, lads. I think this comes from Virus Man. He hasn't put his name to it. Maybe he just found it. I don't know.
If he made it, he would always.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but we're going to reach a point where memes will no longer need to be made.
Yeah.
To screenshot
yeah.
the mainstream media.
Just take a picture.
We're almost there now. In fact, most of my Schwab show is me just screenshotting the mainstream media.
Mainstream memia.
The
mainstream media.
Mainstream media. Mainstream mania. So yeah, I just said, oh look, I think I've already had this slide. Yeah, we know there's a 5-fold increase in coinciditis. Can you guess what it is yet, mate? I think we've already had these. Yeah, we're a bit late. Yeah. Right, let me go further down. So we got past the Lord Schwab section. Right, the meta reset. We had this one, didn't we?
Yeah,
We
we did.
got 55 years for you.
That okay? Right, sorry. Okay, so yeah, 55 years to release.
2076. You're having a fucking laugh.
Someone brought up quite a good thing, like quite a good point. Isn't it like a 55-year or 50-year or a 25-year information release act? Like when you have some sort of like classified shit, you know, like Dunblane. You know, after the Dunblane shooting, that was classified for 100 years. Well, like, why would you need to classify something for 50 years unless you were trying to hide it? There's no reason to.
Yeah, what is the actual justification for these long?
Well, they said they would release 500-page per month chunks because they don't release it all at once because no one can read it.
Those that can do anything about it will be dead by then. Remember, they're not after us; they're after the children.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
we're almost irrelevant.
Just byproduct moon fertilizer. So here's a good one from Sagehead again. A meme of the World Holocaust Organization with Tedros Teddy, with strings going up to Health Chancellor Gates, Lord Schwab up there with a big pile of money,
with a flat Earth map in the background.
Yeah,
the realm.
Like that one. That's good.
Big up Wim if you're watching.
Yeah. So Sanchez UK was talking about the new variant earlier on. There's two new ones.
I only heard about the African one. And then earlier, there's apparently another one on top of that.
Well, one of them is completely symptomless.
Of course.
But the other one,
of course,
is the worst one ever. It's almost like everything and nothing at all at once.
So, is the current triple speared, like boosted, is that, have they got a... Are they good for this?
No,
Have they got to have another?
No,
right,
definitely not.
Well, of course, they've got to have another
Definitely
one.
not. They're not good.
Yeah, no, well.
They're not good for it.
Well, a lot of people are waiting for the Louis Vuitton one. Or Hugo Boss.
What, the booster or variant?
Well, I think they're going to, it's got to be personalised. You can't just have a common one, surely.
Yeah, again, booster or variant. I want a personalised variant. I want my own variant and my own personalised booster to combat my own personalised variant.
I don't want to be mixing with the...
Nah.
And you could have your own little tint on the image, and different length spikes.
Your own coloured CGI virus, yeah. Super duper. Here's a good one. The Lying Bastards variant. A new mutant variant discovered. Created by BBC, ABC, CNN, CBC, and all the other alphabet media corporations. Yeah, the Lying Bastards variant.
Yeah, we like this here on Rise Above.
Yeah, it's a good one. I don't know who made it, but whoever did made it.
What's the logo there?
Where? In the bottom
Yeah,
right?
bottom right.
I think that's just the generic Windows logo for an image. It's like image logo. I don't even know if that's supposed to be there, unless that's their meme logo.
Yeah,
if
mate,
that is,
that's what I
if
mean,
is
yeah.
that though, if that is their logo, that's really cool. Because they've actually used like a super generic like Windows logo, like that. So here's a Christmas message for everyone from the Rise Above team. It's a little bit early, I know. Normal people say stay away from discussing polarizing topics this holiday season by talking about neutral topics like movies and the weather. Me and everyone else that watches Rise Above this holiday season with 2 massive Whopper red pills serving it up on the Christmas dinner table.
Is that Lord Sausage Fingers? Looks like Lord Sausage Fingers a bit.
His fingers are far too skinny, look. Really skinny fingers.
Yeah.
No good. No good at all.
Out of interest, have we got any viewers from New Swabenland?
I don't know if anyone has let us know that they're calling in from Antarctica yet.
Can we put a call out for anybody that lives there that can call
In that region.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd love to hear from anyone that lives in New Swabenland on Rockefeller Peninsula or Rothschild Island.
I did say when we did the Antarctica, the Rise Above Antarctica show, that we should set up a GoFundMe and do a Rise Above expedition to Antarctica. We'll see if we can exit the crater. See if we can find at least find the ice wall, hit the ice wall. You know, maybe take some climbing gear, Lee.
How much do you think it would cost?
Well, I don't know.
Well, you know, if
Rent
it's
a boat.
inverted, it's probably really warm there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, maybe it is. Yeah.
You probably don't need any
what-
specialist equipment at all.
What would be the opposite of an ice wall? Some steps.
No, a beach.
A swimming pool.
Sand steps.
It's probably a desert.
It's probably nothing like what we've been told. It's probably like really easy. You could probably walk there or something. It's probably like, I don't know, 100 meters from Australia.
There's probably a yellow brick road going directly from the Falkland Islands. Okay. This made me chuckle earlier in the week when I saw this because the bottom one is like a picture. I don't think that's from the Travis Scott concert because these girls obviously wouldn't have been allowed in. But every man faces a choice. These 2 young, fine ladies are looking for unvaxxed dick. And this thing at the top is wearing a mask. But,
Thing at the top.
I mean, I don't advocate sending your daughter out to a festival with a sign saying, I'm looking for dick. But yeah, I get the joke. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this has been doing the rounds. Maybe this will get through to the normies.
Yeah. Maybe this is what it will take.
Oh yeah, I don't want to have sex with the one at the top. Esoteric came up with this. I think we were talking about. Oh, this is from what Dom was talking about last week with blind trusts.
Peasantry.
Yeah, peasantry. I just give them money, you see, and the peasants call it a blind trust. How ironic. And you got a Slumdog Millionaire and Lord Potato Head with their little
Schwabian ball gags.
Gimp gags. Very fitting. I should have put this on earlier on in the Schwab show. So someone Ryan Martin put this post. For years, the majority of people were confused about what caused sudden infant death syndrome. Those of us in the natural health world weren't. We knew all along. Now we're seeing sudden adult death syndrome. Maybe the masses will finally put 2 and 2 together. Ooh. Yeah, but like that. But also, this is a hardcore thing to say because lots of parents lost babies to sudden infant death syndrome, and they were just told that SIDS is totally normal. Up to this,
Is that what we call cot death?
Yeah, SIDS,
Yeah, right,
sudden
yeah.
infant death syndrome, and that's what it is. That's what it's caused. It has no known causes apart from what the kids lying on the front or something maybe. SIDS just if it happens, it's like, oh no, that's terrible. Your baby suddenly died, unexplainably
They used
died.
to blame it on the mattress as well. That was one of the things they did.
Don't put your baby on on its front or whatever.
So what are we saying?
Well, I mean, look, I think what
It's
we're
the
saying
same.
is
It's the same as football players having cardiac events. It has happened in the past, obviously, but nowhere near this extent.
What happens to
This
babies? Right?
accelerated.
What happens to babies when
I
they
think that's
come
the
out of the
point.
womb? They basically go for an intensive Britney Spears induction course.
Yeah.
They have loads of different
fairly
Britney Spears.
quickly,
But
within
like footballers, because if my source is correct, this summer in 3 months, FA Premiership footballers went from 40 to 80% double Britney. Now, if they've all had it, a lot of them hadn't had it, and maybe were pressured to have 2 in a space of 3 months, and that happened 6 months ago. Then
And what's the rise in? I wonder what the percentage is. The rise in cardiac events.
500%.
Did you
Well,
see?
they-
Did you see the article?
I mean, you'd have to be fucking stupid not to put 2 and 2 together.
It's
Really.
coincidence.
Did you see the article? I can't remember if it was the Guardian or Daily Mail, and it mentioned about if you don't have them spaced out correctly, it can cause injury.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something like if you don't have them quick enough. Sorry, yeah.
No, if you have them too close together.
No, if you leave it too long, I thought it was
It's
kind of
both.
propaganda to get people to take the booster, because
I
they're
thought-
saying if you leave it too long, you're at greater risk.
Well, I've heard that, but I also read something that I thought it was sort of like a deflection or a damage limitation piece that was basically saying that some people had their first and second Britney Spears attendance in like 12 weeks apart, and it was far too soon. Because they were, the rollout was inconsistent in different parts of the world, different countries, different counties, different suppliers, different distribution, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And they were
Different
actually
temperatures.
saying, different temperatures,
Different veins.
different veins, different levels of skill of the Norris. They just got to put the needle in the arm. You've seen the pictures of people doing it. They look like they're holding a pencil. They've never even held a fucking syringe before. There was a lot of factors. So, I think they were just basically trying to say that, that if it was rushed, maybe that might be causing adverse coinciditis. But as always, there's usually more than one narrative going on at once, or 2 counteracting, but also symbiotic narratives that are sort of playing off against each other. We see that a lot as well. So who knows?
Confusion.
Yeah, organised mass confusion.
Obfuscation.
Absolutely. But here's something that's quite embarrassing for the Soviet Union. I don't know how they can explain this one away. So we've got the date circled on these posts. It's all about Gibraltar. Starting 16th, the 29th of September. 119% of Gibraltar people have been to the Britney Spears concert. I don't know how that works, but I know that's more than everyone's been.
That's people visiting.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Spain.
must be. The world champion of Britney Spears, right? They got 0 COVID fatalities in February, but by November the 16th this year, there was an exponential rise in COVID cases, and they've actually had to officially cancel Christmas. And what's the date today? 27th? So that's 11 days ago. It's almost 2 weeks ago. They've already cancelled Christmas because it's so bad in Gibraltar, apparently.
It proves it's working.
Yeah, definitely safe and effective.
Makes you want to go out and get it, no?
Convincing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it would be much easier if you cancelled Christmas like halfway through November. Then you'd know what your plans were at least.
How are people that are defending the stabby jab actually?
They
What's their
are.
take on this?
They are.
Like, how are they getting out of this one? What's their counter?
Probably they didn't do 119% Britney Spears fast enough.
Right, it's because
or is it
it's because you're stupid and you don't understand how to read stats. That's what it is. You're looking
But
at it in the wrong way.
But you know what the funny thing is, though, in the Guardian, those people that say that, those are the people that if you give them an ONS report, they won't look at the stats themselves or the graph and then tell you what they think. They will read the paragraph at the bottom, which more often than not is actually totally lying.
The conclusion.
It lies.
Yeah.
No, loads of stuff. I can look at ONS stats and I can interpret stats, right?
Politically motivated and
that's bullshit.
All sorts of
Literally proper high level sophistry.
It's as straightforward as Al Capone's end of year accounts.
Yeah, his balance sheet. So more success stories from the Soviet Union. Michigan school district closes down an entire school district. I think it's 4 or 5 schools. Entire schools closed down due to a widespread adverse reaction booster ceremony.
So I wonder what that means. A widespread adverse reaction.
Well, I would say that's massive amounts of coincidences directly after.
Yeah, but I mean, is that just all heart condition or all?
It was teachers apparently.
Oh right.
So basically, all the teachers had boosters, and then they were
they're all
sick or having heart attacks. So they had to close 4 whole schools. Well, basically, every school in the whole district was closed.
What's your take on why it appears to be the football players?
I think that the Pfizer Christmas miracle works particularly.
I'm not sure we can even say that now. Can we? The F word?
I don't know. Let's call it the Christmas miracle. I think it works particularly well. I think it's particularly effective in young people and people that do strenuous exercise. Because think about it,
sports.
12 to 15-year-old kids, even if you're a regular kid, your heart races faster than someone in adult age because you run around. Blah, blah, blah. So if you are one of those people in that age group or a professional sportsman, you have higher amounts of heart rate.
Adrenaline and
and I think the Christmas miracle works particularly well on particular parts of the heart.
Elevated.
Well, and also, if you think when you're really pushing yourself to the limit, to a certain degree, you are weakening yourself in a moment to strengthen yourself for the future.
Yeah.
So in that moment, Britney Spears can take over.
And if you've invited the David Icke protein literally into like your aorta valve or something like that, and you're pushing yourself to the limit that a pro sportsman does, then
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. I think it's different spears for different fears. For me, it seems like AZ was designed to cull old people with the national lottery.
So it's like getting your XR2 remapped.
Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't bring. Yeah, but the remapping usually brings some advantages. Like it gives you a bit of extra torque or some more brake horsepower.
Yeah, not for long. Not
for
XR2.
long. No, it burns the engine out. But I don't think the remapping that the Schwab tech is doing to anyone's genome is showing any benefits. It's clearly not stopping COVID. That's for sure.
No, it's doing far more damage than it is good.
It's creating COVID.
Just look at Gibraltar.
Or
I
Israel.
I think it was on one of your Facebook posts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw somebody saying that when they went to the concert twice, it actually cured a lot of aches and pains for them. Was it on your thread?
I don't know if I saw that. Someone was claiming that they did it for their mental health or something earlier on today, and getting absolutely savaged in the comments from people that watch Rise Above.
They did it for their mental health.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Well, he got to go to Ibiza.
Okay.
Which was good for his mental health, apparently. But taking experimental gene therapy might not be so good for your mental health.
No.
Who are we to find out? Obviously, I don't have any skin in the game. I'm not part of the experiments, but I'm happy to watch.
I don't want to experiment with gene therapy. I want to experiment on meme therapy.
Yeah. I want some experimental meme therapy. Have you got any?
Well, the moon has to be fed. So
Yeah. Well, this is what we were saying. I think Tara Slim actually made quite a poignant post about it's all well and good being empathetic and trying to wake people up, but it gets to a point when if you go too far, you can actually be selfish and irresponsible because not everybody wants to be woken up. And Master Lee interjected and said, who are we to starve the moon?
Well, quite right. Yeah.
The moon has to eat.
Yeah, didn't you say you support their choice to become moon food?
Yeah. 100%. I'm pro-choice.
Yeah, me too. Like, if you want to become a walking sack of moon fertilizer, I won't get in your way.
See, that's the vast majority, though, currently, I think.
It's a lot of fertilizer.
Because even the people that know kind of what's going on, they're still complying with it because they don't want to, get called a conspiracy theorist, etc., etc. So they're still participating in the fertilization of themselves.
We need to get a call from somebody that is that pretends to have went to the Britney Spears concert twice.
Someone that pretends.
Yeah.
What you
They
mean?
just found a ticket on the floor. You mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
What, someone that lies to their friends, or someone that's actually forged their attendance?
No, just both. Maybe one of each. Yeah. So one that's lying, saying that they've had it done when they haven't.
So
It'd be interesting to see what scenarios they've gone through.
I reckon
Right.
there are loads of people doing that.
So do I.
Definitely. Look at this terrible, sad story. Right. I mean, yeah, I had to be a bit tongue in cheek because that's how I do these posts to attract attention to what's going on. I said, "Wow, 4 people in one family won the jackpot in the National Lottery. I bet they didn't get the placebo." Health Chancellor Gates assured a concerned press conference that this definitely means it's working. And literally 4 people in the same family died within 2 weeks after attending some Britney Spears concerts.
Wow.
Yeah, sobering. That's like it's getting really bad, really bad. So, oh my God, I've got a whole section of Jimmy Savile we haven't even got to yet.
Wow.
Shit. Let's just go past this. Yeah, so I posted about this the other week. How this the PCP Britney Spears concert for horses
Steady
and
there.
for wild horses and seals or something to sterilise them. It's the only one that follows the same schedule as the current Christmas Miracle, minus 40 degrees, 6 to 9 months apart, started by a double tap. So with all the talk of fertility at the moment, I thought this was quite a poignant post. So I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Right, here we go. So, Steve Coogan continues his haunting transformation into Jimmy Savile, clad in the paedophile's trademark garb and a wiry blonde wig to shoot controversial BBC drama The Reckoning.
The Reckoning.
The Alan Partridge star, 56, caused raucous... Len! The funny thing is, right, as I'm reading this, I naturally started reading it to myself in an Alan Partridge voice.
You can read it like Alan Partridge.
Steve got into character as he was filmed in the Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 3, with a star he believed to be recreating the scenes from 1962. I used to be so much better. But the thing is, right, it's like they're painting this picture, the paedophile's trademark garb. It's like, I don't know, to me, it's like they're setting the scene for some type of ritual.
Resurrection.
Yeah, some sort of resurrection ritual. Why are there so many pictures? There were 21 pictures of Coogan as Savile in this news story. Where was it? Right. So there was something that struck. Yeah, obviously disgraced DJ and philanthropist. We always like to try and say that word.
Full on rapist.
Full on rapist. Yeah,
Do you think he looks weirder than Savile?
He does. He looks more disturbing than Savile. I'd rather look at Savile than him as Savile.
Well, maybe he's possessed by that entity.
So he was spotted filming the Jimmy Savile biopic The Reckoning in Manchester on Wednesday, dressed as the paedophile presenter in the 1960s. Steve bore an uncanny resemblance to Savile, with his blonde wig showing the star's infamous blonde and later grey hair in a wiry style with a short fringe. Now, it goes on to describe in great detail how he's getting into character of the paedophile, right? But then it goes on to this. Stepping out, he later puts on a pair of modern glasses, seemingly his own. So it's like they're trying to... I mean, tell me if I'm going too deep here, but to me, it seems like they're trying to actually merge the characters of Steve Coogan / Alan Partridge with Jimmy Savile.
Looks a bit like a white-haired Chris Evans, though.
It does. Also, Dom from Sheep Farm said it looks like Steptoe.
Is he wearing Burberry?
Yeah, he's wearing Burberry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he is.
I wonder if they've got a horse in the race.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because you just wouldn't want your trademark garment worn in the Savile Reckoning, would you?
Well, he used to wear like a Burberry check, though, didn't he, Savile?
So we've got
Do you think Sports Direct are going to do a range or something like clothing range?
What? No. Do you remember
Track
Alan
suits.
Partridge's range of sports casual? Double action tiger stripe. It's like double chevron action slacks. Oh my God. What's this? It's called the casual Paris look. Something like that. Right. So the BBC News. Here we are with Savile drinking super tenants. The news. This is the meme I was talking about. Do you remember we were talking
Whoa.
about the thing that comes out of the belly in Total Recall?
Yeah.
And open your mind. So
Open your mind.
what's it called? What's it called? Qatar.
Oh, mate, I couldn't tell you the name.
Someone that knows about Total Recall, tell me what this thing that comes out of his belly is called. So yeah, we have Jimmy Savile coming out of Steve Coogan's belly. It's absolutely perfect.
That cigar muncher.
Total Recall 3: Return of the Dark Wizard.
It's not really a suitable picture just for bedtime, is it?
No, it's not. There's little arms going, now then, now then.
Quarto,
that's it. Quarto will see you when he's ready. Where is Quarto? He's the leader of the rebels. Quarto will see you when he's ready. And he comes out the guy's stomach. Quarto, that's it. Nice one for EDB. So, East America. How will we trick the biologicals this time, Lord Schwab? A, climate crisis. B, smallpox outbreak. C, new COVID variant. Or D, fake alien invasion. Well, we'll go for D. We'll go for B and C.
And D in a few years.
Enter Health Chancellor Gates. Isn't it though?
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know, all we're hearing about is smallpox at the moment.
Yeah,
they must be working on a.
They put Divic 91 on the back burner to some degree.
Yeah, smallpox is much scarier than Divic, isn't
Well,
it?
yeah. So I mean, maybe the Divic 91 was a tester.
Well, Gates has already talked about making a Britney Spears concert specifically for a smallpox bioweapon.
Well, it's pretty in the pox, isn't it? Britney pox.
Britney pox. But now the FBI is investigating vials labelled smallpox found in a lab near Philadelphia. Well, if they're found in someone's lab, well, what's the investigation? Did the person that... we just found some smallpox here.
Yeah, right.
Quick, phone the FBI. That shouldn't be here. Wait a minute, it's inside Merck's lab. Where else is smallpox going to be?
Yeah, there's... Well... You're not
Does
gonna
that
put
not
out-
sound like a bullshit story?
It's prep. It's just prep.
It is, of course it is. We know that.
Did they find a passport there or something as well?
Yeah, a perfect passport in a fireball with one vaccine with smallpox. Look, they have found Health Chancellor Gates' business card next to one vial of smallpox in a chemical explosion. Oh my God.
Should we be laughing at this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It is funny to some extent.
Can you guess what it is yet, mate?
Wow.
Oh, right. This is customer services. Right, Master Lee, we've got a question from a viewer.
Okay.
Dolores Cannon has said many... Do you know Dolores Cannon? Are you familiar with her work?
Yeah, well...
She's a light occultist.
Yeah.
Has said many souls choose to incarnate as disabled so that they can repay back some of the karmic debt. Can you ask Master Lee what he thinks of Dolores Cannon in general? I can't comment in the chat because my internet's fucked.
Yeah, I haven't gone too much into her work. I've mainly heard other people talk about her work. So I'm probably not the best qualified person to give a particular opinion.
I'm sort of the same. I've heard people talk very highly of her. I've heard a couple of things she said which sound quite positive, but I don't really know much more than that. So
No,
I'm the same
I don't
boat as
know.
you.
Yeah, I don't know the sort of origins of her work or what sort of lineage she comes from.
She seems a bit Law of One-ish, which is a good start generally.
Law of Juan.
Law of Juan Jose. Okay, so yeah, sorry we couldn't answer that one better. This is from Jim Hunt in Canada. We'll try and fire through these. Preparedness, community preparedness is big. How many of you are truly into it? Come on, Jim's so hardcore, isn't he? How many of you are actually prepared? Are there decent groups starting and functioning? ? Has anyone got an interest in forming PMAs? Is that personal militia? What's PMAs?
I don't know what PMA
Private
is.
military army?
Okay, sounds about right. Well, I've been doing my best. Not an army, a movement.
The trouble is, we're not an armed nation over here.
Yeah.
We were at one point.
It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of different. Now, if you imagine that if every household had firearms, it'd be a lot more difficult for them to kind of put certain types of pressure on us. This is why, generally speaking, we're quite vulnerable, quite weak here. But on this subject, what I will say is that it is important to build networks. Remember I said about building. It's not just about building somewhere to live, it's about building networks. And having the capability to communicate And a simple example of preparedness, I would suggest that everybody goes and learns first aid.
Yeah.
As an example. Now, you've got to start small. You can't just think big in order to get things done. You've got to start writing a list. So you could list maybe 4 things that you need to study. What preparedness always ends up or goes towards is the polymath. So having a number of skills that you can use, because for the most part, it depends on how it goes. I mean, if there's a societal breakdown, then you're going to need to be able to put out fires, first aid, find food, hunt food, build shelter, find energy. Equally, if we get shunned and put out of society, you're going to need to have those skills. To be honest, it's worth having those skills anyway, even if nothing happens.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree.
Yeah, there's nothing to be lost by gaining those skills, is there?
No.
No, it's good.
Can I put another suggestion of what PMA might stand for?
I found out it's private membership association.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say, something like that, because like, for example, the cannabis associations, same sort of principle.
Well, LFX says private mercenary agitators. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, right, we've got to fire through these. Paul Nelson. Hello, Lance. Hope is all is well at RA HQ. It is. Hi, Paul. Just a quick question I hope you might be able to address or discuss on Friday regarding international travel. Basically, as far as you know, or anyone else in the team, is it possible to travel without the Britney just now? The missus is from Brazil and her family are wanting to visit them pretty soon. They're all pro-Britney, unfortunately. It's causing a bit of anxiety. I'm sure you get similar questions.
I can answer that question right now.
Go on.
Good friend of mine, he hasn't been spared. He's off on Thursday to Brazil, where he lives. He is a Brazilian national.
I watched a video of a guy that was living in Brazil, and this is before when Brazil was on the red list and you had to do the £2,000 10 days in quarantine camp here. He came in and he refused. They took him to the police station for 3 hours, then they took him to the hotel, then he walked out, and that's the last he heard of it.
There you go.
I believe that Brazil is off the red list now. So that, from my knowledge, I don't know what the rules in Brazil are.
I was going to say it depends on where. I think it depends on where they're going.
Yeah, it depends where you're going. I mean, I'm going to Mexico for my honeymoon because I have to get away. It might be my last opportunity to leave the country, and I'm going to Mexico because they don't require any tests to get in there, and obviously no Britney. On the way back here, I'm supposed to do a PCR test on myself on day 2 and day 8, which I clearly won't be doing. And I'm supposed to stay at home for 10 days, which I clearly won't be doing. So
I think if she's a Brazilian national, I think she should be okay.
Yeah, but
from what I understand.
Well, if they want to come here, it's more to do with.
Oh yeah, coming back to the UK.
It's
sure.
more. If you want to go to Brazil, you've got to think about what the Brazilian rules are there when you arrive. If you come here, you've got to think about what the rules are here.
Plus, the rules can't change when you're away.
And they constantly changing, aren't they?
It could change overnight. It's a nightmare. But I would say, like, the thing is, when it comes to the rule, and it's very difficult for us to even speak about the rules in other countries. We can speak about the rules in the UK. I mean,
can we? I mean, they
right.
Speak about the current rules.
Yeah, the rules as we understand them were from since the last change. So yeah, mate, I'll be honest, Paul Nelson, it's a minefield, mate. I would say.
I'd say have a look at the what they're saying online with regards to that.
Yeah, just check the Brazilian embassy online, mate.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, no better advice than that, I'm afraid. Right, Kate Thomas, customer services. Hope you guys are well. Heartfelt thanks for all your hard work. It's great to see your community expanding as you continue to bring forward your knowledge and insights. It's brilliant. I look forward to sitting around your table every Friday. Really enjoyed your collaboration with Sheep Farm last week. The horrors just keep unfolding. Can you carry on because I want to smoke this? Unfolding. Oh, where did it get to? One sec. I've lost my space. The horrors just keep unfolding. I used to get so frustrated. There.
I used to get so frustrated that the truth wasn't getting out. It almost drove me mad, to be honest. But I have come to understand that the resistance needs time to gather momentum. But this is what everyone's saying. But how much momentum does this need? We keep on going until the time is right. but these sick fucks have grossly underestimated this high intelligence. They can only go so far with this arrogance and lack of acknowledgement. Their downfall is in sight and starting to unravel. Johnson and Biden are clearly components of this unravelling. Did you hear him this week? Pepper bloody pig, Jesus. Yeah, what was that about the pepper pig?
Basically, he started rambling. He lost his page. He didn't say anything for like over a minute. He started talking about Peppa Pig. He went
Who,
Peppa
Johnson?
Pig. Yeah. He had to do like a 10-minute speech about some part of the Great Reset, I guess. Yeah, it was about. Yeah, the speech was about the Great Reset. Right. In no uncertain terms, and he just basically fucks the whole speech. And Boris Johnson is not known for fucking up speeches. He's known for delivering.
He's well trained.
Well, he's actually a very good speaker normally, believe it or not. It might be Boris Johnson, but he's actually very eloquent and very articulate when he wants to be. So yeah, it was a bit weird. So, right, I think the question is here. Could you explain a bit around 9/11? You've mentioned it was a pivotal moment for you. Would you be able to discuss the realisations or unfolding that developed as a result, please? Some say 9/11 didn't happen, but my friend was in New York at the time. It definitely did happen. She saw the carnage. I'm not sure people when they refer to conspiracies surrounding the Twin Towers. What's RA's take on it? Yeah, well, not to go too deep into 9/11. Yeah, I think it happened and there was an attack. Whether it was the planes or that's just an endless rabbit hole which I try not to even get.
Yeah, some people say there's planes, some people say there wasn't, some people say it was just bombs.
It's a massive wake up for me because it was the first time I saw something on TV that really slapped me around the face when I thought this isn't real. This isn't as described. This doesn't seem right. And it clicked into my head a series of events that led us to here, basically. As it did with a lot of other people, I think. A lot of people of my age group that have been onto this for that amount of time. It was always 9/11. And then usually watching Zeitgeist afterwards. That started the journey of working backwards from all that stuff. In the Guardians doesn't like talk about 9/11.
No, it definitely happened. I mean, I've been there. I've been at Ground Zero. I won't go into too much detail, but it was definitely demolished one way or another.
Yep.
The cause, or probable cause, self-sabotage in order to trigger something. But from an esoteric perspective, it was probably something to do with Baal or Baal initiation or landing.
A welcoming.
Yeah, as it established across the crater.
Yeah,
I would say for the last 20 years, that's what they've been doing. Just making landmarks.
Can I go back on the Peppa Pig thing?
If you would like to go back to the Peppa Pig.
I can't think it was. Someone in the comments said about it was a distraction. Oh, it was Daisy said it was it's distraction while they were privatising or changing the NHS. And then I've gone on to the internet to check that out. Turns out there's a few MPs who have actually said the same thing. John Trickett on Twitter, who's an MP, said Peppa Pig was a media distraction while they changed the NHS basically into private healthcare.
Yeah, because I saw a document that came out the other day.
It literally happened at the same time, from what I'm understanding.
They sort of circled this thing, this paragraph that basically said the NHS now it doesn't have an obligation to provide service at some sort of level.
They've been slowly privatising all the departments of the NHS for years and years. In fact, I believe Margaret Thatcher was the one who first spoke about this, the privatisation of the NHS and the dangers of it.
Goodbye, Andy PG.
Oh, Andy, I haven't even played your jingle yet, man. Alright,
Andy's lift's there. So yeah.
What you have to factor in is from the small things to the large things, they're distractions for the most part, including 9/11. So while everybody's focusing on what they can see, something else is taking place in the background.
Well, look at what happened as a recourse of 9/11. I mean, look at how many liberties they took and how many rights they've taken away from humans.
Yeah, it's more important to look at what was achieved in the aftermath.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
what is still being achieved. You know, people have no.
I think of the terrorism acts, man.
Yeah, the amount of effect it still has on our lives now is almost sort of incalculatable. It's so vast we can't even comprehend it.
Does anybody remember the tax increase to 20%? I think it's
I do. Yes, I do, yeah.
2008, 2009.
Yeah, it went from 17, whatever it was, to 20.
17.5 to 20.
Yeah, we were
It
told
was only
that's just
supposed to be a
temporary.
Yeah, I was going to say
thing.
it was supposed to be a little bit of time, wasn't it? A couple of years.
And then the tax increase next year is going to 33%.
Why not? Why not? So okay, Kate. I hope we answered your question there.
I was going to jump in on that one.
Sorry.
Hello.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rise Above.
You were being summoned earlier. People were asking all about you.
I know. I've been in
Where
bed.
is he?
I've been in bed for a week, but I'm not. I'm not ill. I'm just resting.
Okay.
I'm having a.
You haven't been touched by the divot, have you?
No, not at all. And I'm not
resting
ill. I'm just having a.
Was that?
Oh, I don't know. Just literally in bed 24 hours. I didn't eat for a couple of days. I'm literally in deep rest. I'm not sure what it is this week.
Fair enough. Actually, do you know what?
Yeah.
You're not the only person I
Doing
know
a
who's
few
done
days
that, you know.
out. Is it?
Yeah, I knew at least 4 people who've had the same issue this week.
Something in the air then.
Or the water.
Maybe it was that massive chemtrail campaign that happened like last week. Do you remember that on that one day where the whole country got totally sprayed?
Oh, I don't know because I haven't been outside.
Oh, do you remember? I think it was the start of last week. It was like a Monday. Everyone was posting about it. Do you remember that day in the Guardians?
Yeah, that was the beginning of flu season, I thought.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was a lot of spraying, a lot of stratospheric aerosol injection. I was going to jump in just quickly on 9/11 because obviously that's a big personal one for me. 9/11 woke me up when I was just 13, and that was kind of my introduction to these things that go on in the world and how they can happen. And 9/11 was the catalyst for how they wanted to reshape society. Certainly, I guess over these last 20 years, it's only just running down now all of the agendas that were brought in with 9/11, and now we're moving into this. So, a bit like Lance said, it's about looking at how it was used and what was implemented under it, and seeing what the parallels are with now. Because if you let them, this will be a 20-year project, and we don't have time for their bullshit anymore.
Yeah, we can't allow enough time to pass for all those changes to be made slowly and incrementally like they were, because it's happening a lot quicker now. Imagine what they'll be able to achieve in the same amount of time now.
Exactly, especially with the quickening, the great quickening.
Yeah, which is certainly happening.
So for me, I mean, I could always talk all day about 9/11. One day I'll do a podcast maybe on it, because I could talk about 9/11 literally all day for those that are interested in diving into it, because I know that not all of us are. But yeah, it was a big one, and if they're going at this with the same vision, we've got to watch them, because that was certainly. I mean, what have they not done? It's hard to think of many things in terms of the global agenda that a lot of us have been challenging, fighting, waking up to over the last 20 years that wasn't capitalised in 2001, and certainly didn't get a massive boost from it. So,
yeah, plenty more catalysts now.
From the occult perspective, it was the trigger or excuse to go in the pursuit of certain mystery schools and relics in a certain part of the world or crater. That's how a lot of the esoteric folk see this, and that certain so-called dictators had the relics, hence why their buildings were raided.
Yes, that's interesting, because I can say there was a special forces team that went in with the Babylonian symbolism on their patches, and the museum was obviously promised protection and then was given one tank, and the museum was raided of all the world's history.
We're going to have a presentation in 2 weeks from the Esoteric Knight of Malta, who's coming to the studio live, and he's going to be talking about this, and he's going to be talking about why they were going for the Gilgamesh's tomb back in 2008 with Hillary Clinton and trying to extract the DNA. It's going to be epic. So after we have a break next week on Friday, the following week, Rob, Esoteric Knight of Malta, is going to come to the studio, and he's preparing this like fat presentation. I'm really looking forward to it. He's going to be going on about all this, the ancient genetic engineering and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff about what's happened with regards to wars in the last 20 years, we've probably been given around about 5% of the information. of what it was about, the first principles, what was seized, what was taken, where it is now. There's a lot of information that is unknown.
I vaguely recall Elon Musk a few years ago saying something about the Third World War and how it's going to be AI that starts it, and we won't have seen anything like it in the past, and all these previous wars have added up to this moment. You know, I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but it was quite dark, and he said that we need to go to another planet to be reseeded as humans, and humanity will be over. And it's quite a heavy speech he spoke about. It's quite a while ago now. It must have been about sort of 2018 maybe.
And he gets awarded for it.
yeah, it doesn't just, eh?
I'll answer this question quickly on the screen from Jacinta Sands. It's about Telegram, because someone posted in our Telegram group that basically when you download it from the Play Store or from Apple or whatever, it's got their built-in censorship into it. So if you download the app directly from Telegram, it doesn't censor any of the groups, which it has been doing. The trick to do it is you have to turn on the permission in your Google Chrome to allow you to download the apps. You just click on the little 3 dots in the corner at the top right, and you click on allow these websites, or allow the websites. It's the only option there. So that's how you do it. Because I did the same thing this week. I deleted Telegram, then reinstalled it. So there's a little trick there if anyone's looking to do that. Right, here's a question from Tom Story. Hi Lance and Andy. First great shows you have on the go every week. For this week's show, can I ask, what are your experiences and explanations of déjà vu, or Dave Trudeau, although this word isn't censored yet? Is that the Aboriginal word for déjà vu, Dave Trudeau? A general question, I know, but it's a subject that's always interested me, and I love to hear each of your opinions. Take it easy, boys, and have a great show. From Tom in Manchester, at Tommy__ Tickle. So, in a Guardians, déjà vu, what is it?
Well, it could be different things. I mean, there's different degrees of déjà vu, but in a nutshell, it's the experience of interdimensional time travel. So, it's a good example of the capabilities that we have. It's just that it's never been developed. So, déjà vu, or the glimpses of déjà vu, is just kind of it's a glimpse of what our potential could be, because we are infinite interdimensional time travelers, and we can live on different timelines simultaneously. Well, we do. It's just that we don't realize it.
An eternal occurrence echo.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's probably the best short answer to that question you're going to hear at Rise Above. Thank you very much, Tommy Story or Tommy Tickle, for that question.
Just to add to that, with everything that's going on, people are going to start to experience more of this type of phenomena, along with other things connected to dreams.
I was talking to you about this privately, I think last week, that I've been experiencing some feelings of this recently, having been here before. Very interesting.
Well, it's going to be I would suggest that everybody watching this show right now will start to experience what is commonly known as the supernatural, when in actual fact it's not supernatural at all. It's perfectly natural. It's just that it's been denied because of all of the psyops and education and conditioning.
It's funny you say that, because I always had a problem with that word, because it's like, surely it's just supernatural.
Yeah, well, it's
as natural as it gets.
Extra natural.
Super side of it, yeah.
Yeah, it should be natural, and it is natural. It's just that we don't know about it, and we've never been taught about it, and B, it's kind of underdeveloped or starved.
There's only one supernatural, and that's the badass freestyle MC from the States.
But things like telepathy, being able to read people's thoughts, being able to see people's auras, energetics. These are the things that we should be dealing with. But we're forced into this survival mode where we're not in homeostasis, where we're always chasing and trying to survive or running. Fight, flight, or freeze.
Very interesting. Now, this isn't a question from LFX. It's more of a 3-page essay. Now, I'm not going to go through all of it, but basically, I think the gist of what they're saying is that, like, if our time and space is governed on the spinning ball model, when we look down at our wristwatch, why don't we have a thing called a little like bauble, like a little spinning ball, to display our time? Why is our time displayed on a flat disc? Quite an interesting concept. If the globe is so accurate and empirical and superior and all that, and time was actually governed by it, then wouldn't we all be wearing little mini globe representations, replicas, on our wrists as timekeeping devices? Call them baubles in the chat, globals, same thing, something like that. You can see this is like a brainstorming session with LFX. The emails I get from them always are, which is great. So I don't know where the question is. I mean, I think that's quite an interesting concept, isn't it? Like, you know, if we were spinning globists, then why don't we have... Well, wait a minute, don't they have like a some sort of instrument like that on old school ships? Is it called... Oh, I'm trying to think what it's called. And it's like a half globe with some sort of like instruments around it.
I mean, most navigation is based on Euclidean geometry and planar geometry, which is flat.
So one thing that I've always thought about is the compass. You know, so you have a southern hemisphere compass and a northern hemisphere compass because of how the poles work. Apparently, this is what you're told. So the idea is the pin's slightly bent. You know, the bend down or bend up depends on which way where you are, and you shouldn't be using either or. You shouldn't be using a northern hemisphere compass in the southern hemisphere area. So I actually wanted to ask Wim about that. What his theories on that are. So if he's watching, it'd be really good to hear your answers about the compass situation. A sealed compass, you know, your modern compass.
But surely a modern compass you can use in southern or northern.
No, you can't.
Oh, really? You have to get...
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I assumed that would be like an old school
No, you get
compass.
an Ordnance Survey compass from the UK and you cannot use it in Australia. Or if you do, it might not be accurate. This is what they're saying. Or you can't rely upon it.
Okay.
Well, I would make it even simpler. I would bring it back to first principles and direct realism. So, as an example, what are the properties of water or large bodies of water? Does it stick to the outside of a shape, especially if it's spinning? And people always use the theory that if you get a bucket of water and spin it round, that the water doesn't fall out, but the water's on the inside of a container.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not on the outside.
Yeah, they always use that. Now, what is the natural properties of large bodies of water?
Well, they fill a container, and
it creates a level.
Level,
levels out, yeah.
Levels out.
Yeah, that's a very good example. And then you've got the opposing thing about the flush systems going the opposite way round and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of theories which would be nice to sort of like get to the bottom of it as such. You know.
Well, I think you've got to go back to water every time. We experience this every day. We have direct realism of this phenomena on a daily basis. The properties of water. So, water level. And then if you take it to interdimensional travel, if you say the word astral, what is the word that follows that? Usually.
Projection.
No, keep going. No, it begins with P. Astral plane.
Astral plane.
Right, okay.
Planar geometry.
Yeah.
So when we refer to dimensions, we talk about planes. Now, what is a plane?
It's horizontal. Flat.
It's horizontal.
Flat, bro.
Yeah.
Flat, bro.
Now, with regards to an aeroplane, why do they call it plane? Because it's using planar geometry.
Oh,
now
the carpenter, I use a planer, which makes things flat.
Yeah, and we use the term planet. So you've got plane and then net.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Someone was posting about that this week.
I mean, I can keep going, but I mean, I personally don't subscribe to... Well, I don't believe we live on a spinning ball. I'm not a flat earther. I actually think that the realm kind of downloads, and it's not either.
Or both.
Yeah, I believe that this realm is rendering.
Yeah. That's sort of quite similar to something that I said that Word Nerd quoted me on, which I was quite impressed with. That it was rendered. The horizon is rendered in real time from your perception. 7 billion points of perception rendering in real time. Right, back to the questions, because we are going to wrap it up in about 5 minutes, because I don't want to get in trouble. Daniel Burns says, Tartaria reset. We've been here before. Are we chasing rabbits down holes, bored by those who wish to distract the inquisitive mind, rather than consolidating our collective fortitude on a past rewritten by the same actors scripting our current future? Thank you in advance, from Daniel. What an amazingly crafted statement, question, observation, thought provoker. And you just said yes, didn't you?
Yes.
So when you say yes, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean that the whole avenue of exploring the Tartarian reset is a decoy to actually distract and mock us about the coming reset?
Yes, and I think it refers to what we're going through now, with regards to eternal recurrence, and I call it the repeat rather than the reset. Now, so as an
I
example,
remember you started saying that last year, didn't you? The great repeat.
Yeah. So as an example, they always try to take you back to day one or step one, when in actual fact we're at step 33, and we should be continuing. Now, this is also connected. I'll kind of abbreviate a lot of this. This connects back to ancestor knowledge. So if we were to have a continuum of ancestor knowledge, we would not be in this situation right now. But because we keep going back to day one, we keep having to learn again. So it's like Groundhog Day.
So are you saying that you don't subscribe to the idea that this happened roughly in the 1850s, that we went back to day one then? Because that's sort of what the Tartaria, I mean, roughly speaking, it's sort of like history was reset, and the Industrial Revolution in 1850 was sort of like a restart. Do you not think that's true, or do you think that is true, but we're also being pointed at it deliberately? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
right,
and along
okay,
with a lot of other things. See, I go with eternal recurrence. So, for instance, as an example, I mean, this is kind of really deep. I don't know whether that even existed. All I know is this life right now. Now, anything previous to this life right now may not have really existed for me. And anything in the future may not actually exist for me. For me to focus on back then or in the future is a form of distraction. So
taking you away from the now,
from the here and now.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, until I focus on the here and now, and I can divide my attention between the observer, myself, and the impressions I'm receiving externally, and balance the two, I'll always be out of focus. That is the true focus. Now, only in that position of focus can you open the portals to higher senses. I won't take it any further than that.
No, but that's a really good food for thought for people to really come to terms with. I think that's a very good statement, Lee.
Yeah,
I like that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking into these things. I mean, I look at things all the time. But if it's taken me away from what's happening right now, or say an imminent threat, I mean, I talk about this all the time in personal protection. If you're faced with an imminent threat directly in front of you, do you really want to spend time thinking about something that happened in the past or going to happen in the future? You need it needs to be in the moment.
Yeah, you're not going to study the threat of the Nazis in World War II if someone's mugging you right now, are you?
No, exactly that. And for the most part, this is why I translate the occult or esoteric into personal protection, because as an example, for me to teach you the full curriculum of jiu-jitsu would take 20 odd years, whereas for me to teach you personal protection would take 2 hours. So you don't. So right now we don't need to know the historical depth of the esoteric or the occult, but we need to understand the concepts and the gist of it, because we need to use it right now because it's on our doorstep. And when people wake up tomorrow morning and start observing, and they'll realize that actually we are submerged in the occult, in the esoteric. I mentioned earlier in the show that the mainstream media are going to be telling us. They're actually going to be talking about the mystery schools in 2022. There's going to be a resurgence of the Steiner method.
Steiner schools, yeah.
Yeah, and that'll be through the mainstream media, but not for the right reasons.
I was going to say, what do you think their purpose and reasoning for that be? What's their motive?
Because they want to capture those who are exploring. So as an example, when people started exploring the flat Earth,
so they control the narrative.
Yeah. So when people started looking at flat Earth, now flat Earth is kind of a way of escaping the prison of the spinning ball, because there's nowhere to go. Once you've gone around the ball, you can't go anywhere. So it's a prison, psychologically and physically. With the flat Earth, that means that there's extra land, physically and mentally. So it leaves you with a curiosity, because there could be something better. So when people started exploring that, they had to develop their own narrative. So they set up the Flat Earth Society.
Yeah.
So when you Google Flat Earth, the first one that will come up will be Flat Earth Society.
The Flat Earth Society approached me and asked to come on the show.
There you go.
I said no.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're the ones that everybody mocks. When somebody talks about Flat Earth, they'll always use a reference from the Flat Earth Society, because the Flat Earth Society actually contradicts itself.
Yeah, heavily.
And they talk about, see, what they say is that, so as an example, right, so there's no real set model for the Flat Earth, but what the Flat Earth Society say is that it's a disc, and it's going upwards, which creates gravity. So that they say that there's an edge. If you get to the end of the Flat Earth Society, you fall off into space.
Oh, well, so they say it's a disc in space?
Yes.
Wow.
That's stupid.
What about the water?
Oh, so it's like literally there's an edge and you could sail off it, like those pictures, stupid pictures from medieval times.
Yeah, so they make a mockery. They make a mockery out of a subject. So going back to the question, the mainstream media will start to make a mockery out of the potential schools that will cause them problems. Because as an example, in America, the legitimate Steiner schools are all refusing to go to the concert.
Right.
Brilliant.
Well, they should do after what Steiner said.
Yeah.
He called all of this like 100 years ago.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Longer than 100 years ago. He literally said that like in the future, like the denying force will use a medicine that will sever the human soul connection and render the people walking dead zombies with no ability to connect to their higher selves. That's exactly what we're saying as well.
And there's
exactly
going to be
what we're seeing.
There's going to be a revelation of the mystery schools and who's in what school, including Donald Trump, who's not a Freemason.
Interesting.
It's said that he's a Rosicrucian.
That's interesting, because I'd always been under the impression he was a 32nd degree Freemason of the Scottish Rite. That's what I'd always learned.
Apparently
because of his Scottish heritage. He's like MacLeod, Clan MacLeod, or something like that. It's obviously maybe a cover story. Yeah, because there are many different secret societies, and they don't all practice the same arts.
They don't all agree with each other.
No, they certainly don't. There are warring factions within warring factions.
So as an example, you'll have
this.
the left and right hand path of Rosicrucian. So there's as much division in the mystery schools because they get hijacked. Hence why when people say to me, what should I study? What book should I read? I generally can't recommend any books to read. Because like even now, if you go to a Steiner school, there's a chance it's going to be, it could be a hijacked version.
I can only recommend Rise Above, to be honest. So what should we watch? It's like, well, what should we listen to? Well, who was it came on? It's like, oh, what videos would you recommend for people? Yeah, I found it. I couldn't even answer the question. I thought, well, I was, 20 years ago, I was Zeitgeist. Now, if I watched that, I could pick that to pieces, I reckon.
Yeah.
But there was enough information in it to spark what I needed to begin my journey into the rabbit hole maze.
Syncretism.
To try and come out the other side. Yeah.
It's enough to make you question. That's the important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Enough.
Well, the cosmos is based on syncretism. In my humble opinion, syncretism is really the only way to navigate or have any map of the terrain, both inner and outer. I mean, I often use the Old Testament and the New Testament. But I'm not a Christian or a Jew.
Yeah, sure.
But there is truth in it.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, the Holy Bible is not prophecy; it's more of a plan. I tend not to use the word prophecy; I use the word plan.
I heard someone say the other day that it's actually an instruction manual of how to navigate your way in through the ascending age of the Kali Yuga, which I thought was quite an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wrap it up, guys, because it's getting late.
I'd say people prophesize God plans.
There you go.
Yeah. Occultists writing self-fulfilling prophecies as well. Right, guys. So yeah, it's Rise Above. Customer service has been great. We've heard from people in Australia, Austria, and the UK tonight. Next week we're taking a break. Master Lee, you up for a Wednesday night midweek?
Sure.
See what the creator, the creator, infinite creator, has got for us in the next 4 or 5 days for us to chat about midweek. We will take a break next Friday, and we'll return the week after with Esoteric Night of Malta doing a presentation about ancient genetic engineering, harvesting genetic material from Gilgamesh's tomb. It sounds awesome. Can't wait for that. Omar Beach, you going to play us out for 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, I didn't realise that was going on. Definitely. What do you want, guys? What do you want? Some 140, so you can have a little rap dance.
Oh, I'm knackered. I want to practice. I need to practice this bar. I want it, before I perform it. It's got to be better. I don't want to rap now, but I'm slurring.
All right, okay.
Right, guys. We'll see you soon. Omar Beach, just play a couple. Rise above, everyone.
Rise above.
Rise above.
Rise above. Don't worry, there's more shows before I go to Mexico, Sabah. Trust me. I will do a couple of videos in Mexico as well. Don't forget, Rabbit t-shirts are now available. "33 Degrees hoodies are available too. Riseabovelivestream@gmail.com on the PayPal. You'll be able to order through the website very soon. In fact, you can order the Rabbit one through the website. Support your favourite stream. We've got so many more designs coming soon. Official.
From the place where hardcore is beautiful.
Saga.
I'm from the place.
Last one from Omar. We're going to end it there on a high note and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Midweek chat next week. Probably the week after too to keep you guys going. That's Wednesday night, 9 PM with myself and Master Lee.
You know the saga.
You know the saga, it's Rise Above.
I'm from the place where hardcore is beautiful.
Big up Omar on the Retro selection. Thank you for purchasing the hoodie Eye for an Eye. Glad you like it. Remember, hoodies are available, £45 including postage and packing. Riseabovelivestream@gmail.com. Word. Oh, my queefs.